In this podcast, we're going to talk about what the mole is, and we'll go over the difference between formula weight and molar mass. All right, so let's start by discussing what a mole is. And when we say mole in chemistry, this is often referred to as the chemist's dozen. A mole is something very specific to chemists. So a mole is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules or atoms. And you might recognize that number. That is Avogadro's number. This is Amedeo Avogadro, an Italian scientist who came up with that numerical equivalent. And we will also be using the term atoms and molecules when we use Avogadro's number. Atoms are going to refer to individual elements. So I could say I have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of sodium, or I could say I have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of sucrose or sugar or something else that's a compound. So when we talk about Avogadro's number, we're referring to a very specific amount of something, a quantity. We use this term in chemistry similar to how we would use the term dozen when we're talking about donuts or eggs. And if I said I had a dozen donuts, you would know that I'm saying we have 12 individual donuts within that dozen. So when I say that I have 1 mole of a substance, I'm saying that I have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of that substance. Moles are incredibly useful for us because we can use them as conversion factors. Moles are, in essence, ratios. So let's go back to our donut example. If I were to talk about a dozen donuts, you know that that means 12 individual donuts. That is a conversion factor. That's a ratio. Every dozen of something has 12 individual units of it. That ratio can also be flipped around depending on what unit I'm looking to cancel or what unit I'm looking to find. So we can say the same thing as well for substances. We can say this for atoms and we can say this for compounds. For example, I could say that 1 mole of carbon dioxide is the same thing as 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of carbon dioxide. I can also flip that around as well and say 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of carbon dioxide is the same thing as 1 mole of carbon dioxide. And we've talked about this before, way back in chapter 1, when we talked about numerical equalities. And that's just a big fancy phrase to say that these two numbers, despite the units being different, are the same thing. When I say a mole of something, that is an Avogadro's number full of something. And if we were to use a single atom, like this bottom example, 1 mole of carbon, we could say that that's equivalent to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of carbon. So see the difference in my use of atoms versus molecules. All right, let's define formula weight. Formula weight is the sum of the atomic weights of all the atoms in a compound, and we will report this in AMUs, or atomic mass units. Formula weight can be used to describe both ionic and covalent compounds, although sometimes you'll hear people say molecular weights to refer to covalent compounds. That's okay, but they really are just formula weights. To find a formula weight, we're going to add the atomic masses from the periodic table. So for instance, if I had sodium and chloride, I would find the atomic mass off the average atomic mass off of the periodic table, and I would add that value to the average atomic mass for chlorine. We will be reporting our masses to 2 decimal places. So we're not worried about sig figs. We want to report out to 2 decimal places. That may mean that you need to round. And the unit for formula weight is atomic mass units, or AMUs. A more useful value for us is the molar mass. And the molar mass is the mass of 1 mole of any substance, and we report it in a ratio. And the reason why we like this is because we really like ratios. We can use ratios just like we use conversion factors to divide out 1 unit and leave us with the unit of interest. So again, looking at this idea of conversion factors and ratios, I know that a mole of carbon is equivalent to its mass from the periodic table, 12.01 grams of carbon. I also know that 1 mole of carbon is equal to an Avogadro's number worth of atoms of carbon. So 1 mole of carbon is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. So therefore, because all of these things are equal to one another, I can also say that 12.01 grams of carbon is equivalent to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of carbon. So there are that many atoms of carbon in 12.01 grams of carbon. So we have a lot of numerical equalities here. The molar mass of your element in the periodic table is reported in grams per mole. That's our unit. That's the same thing as its atomic weight. So when we talk about an element, and that was the example we gave here, we know carbon's atomic weight off the periodic table is 12.01 grams. That's also equal to its molar mass. Carbon's molar mass is 12.01 grams per mole of carbon. So the molar mass of the compound is also equal to its formula weight, where you would add up all of the individual atoms that are in that compound as well. Let's take a look at some examples. So for instance, we have some compounds written below. We have sodium chloride and carbon dioxide. To find out what the molar mass is, and therefore what's equivalent to 1 mole of these substances, we're going to add the atomic weights of the elements from the periodic table. So we're going to look to the subscript. So for instance, in sodium chloride, we have 1 sodium and 1 chlorine atom. So 1 sodium off the periodic table is 22.99 for its AMUs, its mass. And chlorine is 35.45. So I'm going to add those two values together, and that's going to give me my molar mass reported in grams per mole for sodium chloride. I can do the same thing for CO2. Notice what the subscript does to change this though. So I'm going to look up what the mass is off the periodic table for both carbon and oxygen. Carbon is 12.01 and oxygen is 16.00. However, I have to include that I have 2 oxygens. So I'm going to multiply this value by 2 to give me my total grams per mole. So carbon dioxide has molar mass of 44.01 grams per mole. And now I can use these to show conversion factors. I know that there is 58.44 grams of sodium chloride in a single mole of sodium chloride, and vice versa. 1 mole has 58.44 grams of sodium chloride. All right, let's practice. So this asks us to find the molar mass of cucumber aldehyde, which is responsible for the aroma and the flavor of cucumbers. All right, so to find the molar mass, I'm going to have to go to my periodic table and I'm going to have to look up what the mass of these are. So I know, I'm going to start with carbon. I have 9 carbons, and looking on my periodic table, the mass of a single carbon is 12.01. Hydrogen, I have 14 hydrogens in this, and the mass of a single hydrogen is 1.01. And I have 1 oxygen with a mass of 16.00. So notice that I'm going to 2 decimal places, and if you're using the periodic table that we've provided, your periodic table already goes to that. So use that periodic table. We are going to multiply 9 times 12.01. and 14 times 1.01 and 1 times 16. We're going to add all those values together. Because we're adding those values together, we're going to make sure that we report our molar mass, and this is out of my calculator. We're going to report our molar mass to 2 decimal places, and remember that a molar mass is a ratio. So this is 138.23 grams of cucumber aldehyde per 1 mole of cucumber aldehyde. All right, if you're feeling confident on calculating molar mass, I strongly suggest you pause this and you can do this work on your own and then check back in to make sure that you've done the problem correctly. Something to look at though, we're comparing sugar and salt, and from what we can tell just observing this with our eyes, they are very similar. Yes, the taste is incredibly different, but these 2 substances could not be more different from each other. For example, sugar has a molecular formula of C12H22O6. It has all different atoms than what sodium chloride is made up of. It is a covalent compound. Looks very different in structure than our ionic compound, sodium chloride, which has a transfer of electrons. What is the same though is that 1 mole of sugar is equivalent to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of sugar. And 1 mole of sugar and 1 mole of sodium chloride are both equivalent to Avogadro's number, to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of this substance. So that's something that's kind of neat. We're going to go ahead and do the molecular formula for this. So I'm going to need my periodic table. And again, if you're using the periodic table from class, it already goes to 2 decimal places. This is going to make your life easier. I have 12 carbons. Okay, looking at my periodic table, a single carbon has a mass of 12.01. I have 22 hydrogens that each have a mass of 1.01. And I have 11 oxygens, each with a mass of 16.00. So I'm going to multiply 12 times 12.01, 22 times 1.01, 11 times 16. And I'm not going to round until the very end. I'm going to add those values that I get together. And I should get 342.34. And this is now a ratio. This is grams per mole. Okay, so now I have the molar mass, which I can use in my conversion factors. And I can do the same thing for sodium as well. We know that we have 1 sodium that is 22.99 for its mass, and we have 1 chlorine, which is 35.45. Adding these together, we get 58.44 grams per mole. I just wrote on my video. I did not know that was an option. Grams per mole. So hopefully you're starting to get the hang of this and you're able to do this. Watch those sig figs. We are reporting to 2 decimal places for this.